Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10x your life, your business, all of it. Time to crush those goals. Time to get after it. Let's go. You are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. We're coming to you again from beautiful downtown Springfield in the Big Dog Construction Studio. Hey, we've got so much going on in Springfield right now. Make sure you are participating. Get out there, network with folks, be a part of the community, support local businesses, support local nonprofits, and let's go. We can all grow together. So, hey, another great episode for you today. We're going to get right to our guest after the break. Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing experts serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. And we are back. Hey, happy Monday, y'all. Going to be a little bit different episode for you today. You know my business partner, Chris Hartsook, and our Big Dog Business Coaching company. We spoke at a lunch event about a week ago, so I want to give you a little sneak peek into part of our presentation for that day. I'm not going to give you everything that we talked about, and I'm going to cut out all the audience questions and things that we had a little interactive topics during that presentation. So it might sound a touch choppy at times because I did chop out all of the audience participation. But check out what we talked about that day. It's all about 10X culture. But before we do that, hey, moving forward here, we've got so many great guests coming in. We've got Rachel Rodriguez from Inspira that'll be coming in later this week. We've got John Gaston from Empowered Martial Arts coming in. We've got Matthew Hutton from Navigator Wealth Strategies. We've got Jessica from Willow and Birch. We've got Jared Glant, the president of Cardone Enterprises. Hey, we've got so many great guests coming in over the next couple of weeks. But for today, check out this little snippet on 10X culture from Chris and I.
Well, thank you, Betsy. Chris and I are both excited to be here today. I know most of you in the room, so excited to talk a little 10X with you guys. Again, Chris and I are co-owners of Big Dog Business Coaching. Essentially, we help businesses grow and scale through 10X methods and mindset. So before we begin, you guys always see me walking around with this 10X hat on. I'm talking about 10X. You guys are probably like, what is 10X, right? So 10X is essentially taking your goals and targets and making them exponentially higher than what you think is possible. And then taking the action and making that exponentially higher than what you think is necessary in order to do that, and therefore achieving extraordinary results in all areas of your life. Again, like Betsy was saying, it's not about motivation. It's about commitment and implementing systems to be able to do this while taking that massive action. So we're excited to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. But before we do, I know most of you in the room, but for Chris and I's sake, we'd like to do really quick round robin of who we got in the room. Just tell us who you are, what company you're with. So yes, we're excited to be here to bring some of this 10X methods and mindset to you. Every talk we do, we model like one of our coaching sessions. So Chris is going to walk you through a little bit about our framework for our sessions, but also today's talk.
Appreciate it. So at Big Dog Coaching, what we like to do, like Robert was saying, is the framework. It kind of gives a stage of how we're going to walk our mentees, our clients through that session for the day. And we're going through this so that you can maybe take some of this with you if you have team meetings with your members there at wherever you work, right? Or your organizations that you're a part of. And with that, we like to just kind of tag in that big dog. You know, it's a branding thing. And if I encourage you in your organizations or businesses, do the same thing. Take your business name, break it out, and see if you can use a framework based on that, right? It's creating that culture, and that's what we're kind of talking about today. So in the big dog, the first one is the B. What's the big wins? You always want to start out any type of meeting or session you're doing with successes, right? They can be personal or professional. Make sure you share those. Is there anyone in the room besides this young lady right here that wants to share a big win? We know what her big win is. So big wins, always celebrate them, right? And no matter how small or big, right? Celebrate those big wins. The I is issues. Start with the big wins, but then shift into issues. This allows whoever the moderator or the agenda person that is facilitator running that can take a note of that. What's the issue? Because it can be brought up and addressed as a group or individual, right? You as the coach or the facilitator in that situation can decide on the spot if you want to open it up for the full group to discuss that issue, or, hey, let's table this. We'll talk about this separately, right? You need to make that decision as you go. So G in the big dog is goal review. So you should set out goals, targets. Is there anyone in here that has targets that are set for them at the business they're at? Yes, show of hands. Okay. Is there anyone that sets their own goals at their organization? Is there anyone that doesn't set goals at all? And it's okay to say that if you don't, because before I got into the 10X and all that, I really didn't. Mentally I would, but I wouldn't put it on paper and stuff like that. Okay. So we do review goals, where they're at, how they're tracking on those goals, right? So it's very important to do that. The D in the dog, we deliver content. So we will have a subject matter that we want to cover, and that could be brought by the previous session we had or the previous meeting we had. Hey, based on how that went, we dove into our knowledge base and pulled out some content that we want to go over during that specific session or meeting, okay? So that's something that you can do as well. That's either company specific or organization specific. The O in Big Dog is opportunities based on the content delivered. So I encourage everyone here today, the content we are delivering today is that 10X culture, 10X mindset. What do you do in your current organization, right? So I encourage you to identify some possible opportunities that you can take back and implement where you're at, whether you're just Chatham or not, or if you're something else in Chatham, okay? The G in the big dog, the last G is goals for next week. So you can have your large overlying quarterly goals, annual goals, 3-year, 5-year goals. But the way to get to those large goals is to chunk those down into smaller actionable items, right? So we help set goals for the next week, right? Everyone knows you can eat an elephant in the room, right? And how do you do it? One bite at a time, exactly. So that's what we do on our framework, the BIGDOG method. Okay. So again, I encourage you kind of play with the name of your organization or company and see if you can come up with a framework the same way that fits your culture that you have. Okay.
So what are the big wins we got? Any other big wins?
And one thing when we're talking about wins, you can implement this into your culture, right? What we do in a business coach standpoint when we're coaching someone is, does that big win tie to a revenue target? Because revenue moves businesses. Other organizations like the churches and stuff, it might be numbers of new parishioners they bring in. So the number of how you measure revenue is what you might want to say, hey, Dalton, did that big win you share with us have a revenue impact on your business? Of course, right? Of course. Now, what we do is we would say, okay, what is that dollar amount tracking? We're not going to do that today, so that we can create baselines and show increase. Again, showing that increase over time helps motivate, helps energize, helps develop systems, which we'll talk about.
Absolutely. So issues, we're talking about culture today. We're talking about team management a little bit today. So what issues are you facing in your organizations right now when it comes to culture or team management, team dynamics? What are we facing right now? Or does everybody just have a phenomenal team?
I'll throw one out there.
Yeah.
I struggle with pricing all the
Okay.
Can I
Price is
address
only an issue in?
absence of value? Price is only an issue in absence of value. And to help determine your price, we always say, what's your target, right? What's your goal? If you have a financial goal that the pricing helps you achieve that financial goal, then that's how you back your way into what your pricing needs to be. And then you sell the value of what you're doing. Does that make sense? That makes sense there? So price really, I mean, and always think about this too. So this is something that we help teach people is the way we sell is the way we typically buy. So if we are price conscious when we're out buying something, we are selling price consciously, right? And so that puts up an immediate barrier. But if you go out and go, you know what? The value of this straw to me isn't very much, right? I don't know, it might be to you guys, but it's not that much, right? But if I say, hey, look at this beautiful ink pen. Look at this beautiful ink pen, right? Would anyone buy this for me for $10,000? No takers?
If it's gold.
Well, it's not gold, but why wouldn't you buy this for $10,000? Doesn't have the value, right? Well, what about $9,999? Sold? Hey, Bob bought it.
Done.
But let me tell you this. If I tell you this ink pen could close $1 million deal for you, that's going to produce the wet signature on that document. Now, does this pen become more valuable to you? So again, the price is only an issue in absence of value. You have to sell the value of what you're doing there. So hopefully that answered your issue and maybe help you get into that. So if you don't have a financial target in mind, maybe put one in there. So by the end of the year, by the end of the Christmas season, I want to make X amount of dollars. And I back that up. And my projects are this, and this, and here's my price points on these things. It's some business math to get there, but it's the math path. Okay. So hopefully that helped. If not, let's talk.
And you make some phenomenal stuff, by the way.
Exactly. I've seen it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you go.
So goal review. This is the part where we would talk about goals that we set for last week. But for today, when we're doing a talk like this, we want to know what you expected, what your intention was coming into today. Our intention was to pack as much as we can in 45 minutes to an hour to give you some things to do in your business or in your life directly after you leave here today. So what I'd like to hear from you guys is what's your intention or what was your goal coming in today when you saw that I was speaking? Some of you know me, some of you don't. Some of you know Chris, some of you don't. You saw 10X. What were you expecting? What was your goal today?
Besides the food.
Right. Besides coming here and eating and hanging out.
Well, one thing you'll find about Robert and I, we are big into educating anyone we talk to, as in anything we can do to help and assist and share our knowledge with the public. That's our goal. Elevate Springfield podcast. It's to bring people in. And again, maybe if there's one nugget that you can get out of listening to one of his 7-day-a-week podcasts that he does, right, that you can take and implement, that then we've succeeded. So that's our goal for today too, is just if we can share a smattering of stuff, and if there's a nugget you can take back, that's our goal for today.
Great. So deliver content. We're talking about culture, but before we do that, let's real quick on our why we do 10X. Everybody has their why on their business and what they are doing with their life, but why are we doing 10X? Chris?
All right. My quick story of Big Dog, okay? When I joined the chamber a couple of years ago, the small people there, we did the ribbon cutting, know my story a little bit. I've been in the construction industry, so I'm involved in 3 companies, all under the Big Dog umbrella. And it's all under the Big Dog Design and Build, because the duality of that design and build is not just someone's home or kitchen or addition. It's designing and building their business, designing and building their life, right? Designing and building their goals. So we created that Big Dog umbrella. I've been in the construction industry going on 30 years. Big Dog itself, we're in our 14th year of business, right? And we are in Big Dog Business Coaching and Big Dog Media Productions. We've been doing that now 2.5 years, two and a half years, right? And because as my construction company has grown to the point where I'm able to raise myself up elevation wise and see it from bigger altitudes, I'm putting the right people in place for it to run without me. And again, that's kind of a goal that you should have as an entrepreneur, is get your business where it can run without you. That means you've got proper systems in place ready to let it run. That allowed me then to partner up with Robert on this 10X. And we really haven't said it yet. 10X, has anyone heard 10X before hearing it from Robert? Has anyone heard of Grant Cardone before Robert? Grant Cardone is 10X, okay? We are both certified 10X business coaches. And that means we've gone through all the product, all the education, all the video trainings. It would take, if you did one video a day, it would take over 2.5 years to go through all the training videos. And we had to go through them in 66 days to become to go to the certification to get certified. And then I am one step further than that. I am actually a 10X performance coach. I am 1 in 38 in the world that I actually work for Grant Cardone. So he actually sends me his clients for me to coach. So when Robert says we are bringing you the goods today, we're bringing you the goods today. So that is Big Dog. My quick story, my why was to be able to, my background is engineering, but wasn't my passion. Passion was taking other people's ideas for their homes and making it happen, and being able to draw it, show them what it would look like and all that, and making it happen. So that was my why of why I was doing it. And then when I got into the 10X, I developed my financial whys, my personal whys, right? And my professional whys. And that's kind of why we are here today. I'm not going to bore you with digging deep and all that stuff, because we've got a lot more good stuff to jump in there. But that's the Big Dog story, of why we are here today and how we got to where we are today.
Absolutely. All right. So real quick, how we got to know that we're both into 10X. I've been in education for, 18 years now, I guess. So, and I was utilizing these methods at CACC, which Dr. Lehman knows me from there. So a lot of the growth that we've had there was utilizing some of these methods and mindset. A couple of years ago, Chris and I were both setting up for a home show with Springfield Area Home Builders Association. We're both past presidents of the association. We had our booths there. We were setting up. We had our earbuds in. We're walking around, and we see each other, say hey, but at the as we're walking by, we noticed that he laughed at the same time I laughed. That's kind of weird. By the time the third time that happened, he's laughing at the same time. Something's going on. What are you listening to, man? So at the same time we were there setting up, we were both listening to the 10X virtual growth conference, because we couldn't be there live
because we were doing a home show.
So at that point, we both went, you're into 10X, you're into 10X. We were both going on these parallel paths, and that grew our friendship, grew our partnership. And we decided that because we've had so much success in our other areas utilizing these methods and mindset, that we wanted to bring this to Springfield, because it's not really known in Springfield. Right. Some people know about Grant Cardone, but they don't know about all the methods and mindset. So that's really why we're here to do that.
And he was talking about how we both implemented individually in our lives. In construction and any business, you can hit a ceiling, a financial ceiling, right? A revenue ceiling. And it's hard to bust through that, because there are financial breakpoints in business. And at each financial breakpoint or milestone, you have to have key things in your business, key people, key systems, before you can jump up to the next level, the next level, the next level, right? Who in here works for a company that is over $5 million a year revenue? A couple of them? Okay. They just didn't start overnight. Right? It started with an idea, and they started at the entry level, right? At the first level of breakpoint, and they're from there. So in construction and in my business, it was that 1.2 to 1.5 million ceiling. I just could not get through that ceiling, right? And I'm just beating my head against the wall, just like, it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and just expecting different results. Right. So I went on an adventure and I was seeking something. Right. And I came across 10X, Grant Cardone, and I dove in headfirst. Right. Spent a lot of money, dove in. But within 1 year, I was able to increase my revenue by $2 million. So I finished the next year at 3.2 mil. I broke through a breakpoint ceiling. And that was before I even really knew about the breakpoints. So that's what we're talking about. And that's how he had his successes in CACC and other things he had, ventures. And that's how we bringing this to everyone as we can, because Grant Cardone is heavy on the East Coast, West Coast, Florida, a few hot spots here and there, but really in the Midwest and specifically here in Central Illinois, there's just a few smattering of people that know about Grant Cardone. So that's our goal today.
Yep. And the same strategies and mindset that he used to build his multi-billion-dollar
Yeah.
company. So today's agenda for our content section here, really talking about culture. We're going to talk about your current condition, set up for success, building a 10X culture, recruiting a 10X team, onboarding, KPIs, and PPFs. So let's start with your current condition. What's your company's purpose? Who can tell me what your company's purpose is right now?
Our mission statement.
Or mission statement, yeah. How you living that out every day with your team?
So the key question I have for those that did share is, are your employees all in? That's a key question, right? Bob's got to check with his employees to see if they're all in, right? Because if they're not, that becomes an anchor that slows the movement of heading towards the why or the purpose, the mission for your organization or your company, or even yourself personally. Just a quick show of hands, entrepreneurs in the room, own your own business. Okay. W-2s, everyone else W-2s, work for someone else? Okay. All right. Just want to kind of get the mix there on that. So the entrepreneurs that have their hands up, how many have employees? Okay. All right. And then so the ones that didn't raise their hands that are entrepreneurs, we would consider that a solopreneur, right? It means you're an individual entrepreneur. But the goal is, if your purposes are there, to become an entrepreneur, which means you're leading a team, developing a team. Okay?
So when he said, are your employees all in? If you have somebody like that, that person probably immediately went into your head, right?
Did anyone picture somebody?
How many has somebody in their head right now? So, this person is all in for me and my company.
They're against the grain. They go against the grain always. Or they'll always be like, you're smart. Do you have someone like that? Yeah.
So, what are the ones that are all in do differently than everybody else? If you thought of somebody that's all in, what do they do differently for you?
They believe.
They believe
In
Yep.
what?
All.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
meet their deadlines.
Yep.
Who in here has written mission and vision statements for the company? Okay. The W-2s, the companies you're working for, do they have mission and vision statements? Okay. Did they sell you on that when you went to work there, on what their mission and vision is for that company? Can I see you? Okay. We challenge you and encourage you that if you don't have a mission and vision statement for your company that you're with, or even a W-2, and you feel like it would help, talk to upper management, talk to whomever, the owners, and say, hey, do we have a clear mission and vision statement for this company and core values, right? How are you, your core values are how you're interacting and running your business and or interacting with your clients and team members, okay?
So real quick, culture is not what you say it is, it's what you allow. How many of you guys in your business right now are allowing things that are going against your culture? Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Anybody want to share? You say the culture's supposed to be this, but this is going on?
Or are they sitting next to you?
Right. Right. Little
We know we got several from the same
Little too
company. I
close.
just want to make sure.
So, yeah, after you leave here today, just think about that. I say my culture is this, or I believe my culture is this, but I'm rewarding something that goes against that, or I'm not enforcing things that are with that. Yeah.
So sometimes you literally have to ask, how much is keeping this person here? It's literally the pros and cons. How much is it costing me keeping this negative here? Because what happens is negativity is a cancer. It spreads. And when it spreads, now you're having to deal with it more on a widespread versus an isolated incident, right? And so you have to just get your management team together, or if it's you or whoever, and say, this is going to be our short term. And then you put 100% focus on recruitment to replace that. Systems are key. And again, that reverts back to the break points and revenue income. I found I started my construction company by myself. I left another company of 14 years. Within a week, I started Big Dog Construction, and it was me wearing all the hats, right? And I knew that I was only going to be able to make so much money by myself You might get a softball every once in a while in there that you're going to profit a little bit extra on, but I'm only going to be capped by that. So I have to then sliver myself off and put someone in that position, train them, educate them, show them my systems, onboard them properly. And then I do it again. Okay. That was my office manager. Production. Do that for production. Marketing. Sales. Right. And that's what you have to do in that instance. Right. And so it's hard when you're a solopreneur and you're wearing all those hats. Right. And again, it comes back to what's your target? What's your business target? What's your business goal? If it's to just live normal life, normal whatever, I'm paying my bills, I'm not really adding much to the savings, but I'm just getting by. Fine, that's okay. There's a lot of people that are like that. But if you want to 10x those, then you're going to have to sliver yourself off and add people to that team and cut out the negativity. Did I answer the question?
Everybody has it. So
Okay.
Chris was talking about the company target. One thing we found with a lot of our businesses to increase that culture buy-in is to drive these targets into the employees, which Chris is going to go over now.
Yeah. So on your table in front of you, this is actually a little exercise. It's actually called the 10X Super Life. There's 7 areas, right? Write down your goals in those: income, wealth, physical, spiritual, familial, recreational, professional. Okay. You should break your life up like that. What are my goals in those areas? And one thing I want to talk about is the 3 pillars in the middle. We have 7 pillars there, right? The 3 pillars in the middle: physical, spiritual, and familial. They're in the middle for a reason. If your core 3 goals are in check, the 4 outliers will fall into place. If you're physically there, right? Your body is physically where it needs to be. You're fueling it properly, and you have the goals to support that. Spiritually, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, or, whatever you in that, have goals. Same with familial, whether it's to start a family, whether it's to spend more time with the family, whether it's to get rid of the needy kids, right? That Bob's got, right? Those goals. Now, step two on that, the next page is now 10x those goals. So if your goal was to make $100,000, your income goal is to make $100,000, 10x it would be $1 million, right? And here's why the 10x movement and method of thinking comes into play and works. It takes the same amount of effort to think small as it does to think big. Same amount of effort. So why not think big, right? If you shoot for $1 million and you're originally shooting for 100, and you put in the action to shoot for $1 million and you hit 600,000, oh darn, you just made $500,000 more than what you originally set your goal on. Is that starting to make sense about that 10x mindset? And it truly is a mindset shift. It's like it takes this amount of action to talk about this, and to do that as to write the same thing here is make it bigger. Okay? Does anyone know the 4 levels of action? None. No action. Retreat. Normal. And massive. Does anyone know which one's the most dangerous? Normal action is the most dangerous, and here's why. I'm getting out of bed every morning. I'm eating drinking my coffee, eating my breakfast. I'm driving to work. I'm working all day, working hard as I can, getting my paycheck. I'm going home, sitting on the couch 3, 4, 5 hours a night watching TV, whatever, right? Yelling at the kids, whatever. I go to bed, I get up, hit repeat, I do it again. I'm doing everything I can to make a living. That's normal action. That's why it's the most dangerous. If you're doing no action, you can take action. If you're retreating, you can stop retreating and move forward. Normal action, that's the most dangerous. Massive action is setting your mind to, if I need to be on the other side of that wall, I'm going to take the action to get through that wall. It's that mindset that I can get through that wall. I can use a chair, I can use a knife, I can use whatever, and I'll grab Bob, throw Bob through the wall. I'll make the action to make it happen. So that's what the 10X mindset is. So I encourage you, if you do this exercise, which I encourage you to do, then 10X it and properly 10X it. Someone says, well, how do you 10X? I want to lose, 50 pounds. I can't lose 500 pounds. It's 10X the effort to lose the weight. Okay? That's how you apply that 10X multiplication in that aspect, not just from a revenue standpoint. Now, the next page on that, step 3 of these is, what do you need to give up to achieve those goals? This exercise will help you identify what you need to do to give up to make that happen. Well, I need to quit doom scrolling on my phone for 3 hours a night. Anybody doom scrolling here? Anybody? Come on, be honest. Karen, yeah? Oh, look, a high hand over here, right? We know who the keyboard ninja is in the room. Keyboard ninja, right there. If you stop and if you truly look at, and we encourage some of our mentees to do this, our coaching clients, is on a 24-hour basis, right? Keep a journal of what you do, right? I woke up at this time, usually around the same time. I woke up at this time and I laid in bed for 30 minutes and scrolled on my phone. That's 30 minutes you could be exercising, doing a little cardio. What's that? It's an hour, 2 hours, right? So take a journal of what you're doing through that day, right? And be honest with yourself. The only one that's going to hold you accountable is yourself. And if you can't hold yourself accountable, then why are you doing it? So, and you will look at that list and go, oh, geez, I can give up the 3 hours of doom scrolling on my phone. Or I can get the 2 hours of playing, Candy Crush on my phone, right? So that starts developing a roadmap for you, right, of where you're heading. The fourth one is, what do you have to change? It may just be my mindset, right, across the whole 7 across that. But what do you have to change to make that happen? And then the fifth one is, what do you have to learn? What do you need to learn? Learn to put parental locks on my own phone. That's what she needs to do, right? Screen time is off after 30 minutes. So, but this little exercise, and I know that we've burned through, we have a whole lot more stuff that we will not get through today. But Robert and I are good about reading a room and what we feel might be most needed. And I think this might be something that was most needed in this room today. And that's nothing negative, right? We're here to give nuggets today. Gold nuggets, gold ink pens. You can just write a $10,000 check with a pen. That's fine. That's fine. You can have that. It says Big Dog on it. You're good. You can Venmo me the 10K. It's okay.
And when we're talking about buy-in and culture with your employees,
yes,
doing something like this, we've got a pared-down version called our PPS, Personal,
yes,
Professional, and Financial Goals too. But we encourage you to implement that with your employees, with your team members, because it connects them to how their target meets the company target, and if they meet their company target, how they win as well.
It allows the company to align their employees and team members. It allows them to open up on a personal level to them. It's like, oh, I didn't know you wanted to start your own business. Great, because what that does is two things for you, right? As a business owner, you're like, oh, I'm going to lose this guy in 2 years because he wants to start his own business. Be supportive of that, because that gives you 2 years to find his replacement or have him help train his replacement. Okay? I hired an interior designer at my company. And when I hired her, she's like, I only want to work 5 years because in 5 years I want to be able to travel with my husband and do all that. I'm like, I appreciate you telling me that. And within a year, I was at a high school job fair, and I had a young lady walk up and said, I'd like to intern at your company being an interior designer. You're hired, right? And now I'm helping pay for her interior school college. For every year I help pay, I get a year of employment after. I found my replacement. And so if you put those goals in place and you know it, so same thing, have the meetings with your employees, your team members, because you will know what is important to them. And if you can align their goals with the company goals, you've got a dynamic team. You've got a 10X team, right? That's going to take massive action to get to everyone's goals. It's a win-win scenario, and that's the purpose of that.
Going to create more of those all-in folks.
All in,
right?
all in.
Real quick on building a 10X culture. Got a number of them here. Winning is the expectation. All right? How many of you have a winning is the expectation attitude in your business right now? Should be everybody. We expect to win. Failure is not the expectation, right,
nope.
Chris? Let's
nope.
win. Daily all-team meetings. You guys do any all-team meetings? Daily? Weekly? What do we do? Weekly? Weekly? Anybody do them daily?
Try daily and see what happens. Find 15 minutes or 10 minutes and do it daily and see what happens to the motivation and dedication and drive of the company. You'd be really surprised. One, you can get on top of issues quicker. You can celebrate wins faster.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great thing. So at 10X headquarters in Miami, where we've been several times, they have all 260 employees. They do an every morning 15 minutes in and out daily meeting. Each department celebrates wins, milestone accomplishments, and they're out. The energy in that room is palpable. I mean, it is just like you just feel it, right? And that's that energy you want to create. Anyone not want to create that at their company? Who would love to have that energy at their company every day? Yeah.
Absolutely. Daily training. Anybody train in whatever your industry is in daily? We're going to get through these quick. No? Yes? Yes? We would encourage you to embed that. It doesn't have to be long. Could be another 15 minutes. Could be 10 minutes.
Right.
Daily role play. That works better for certain industries, but you can do it in
Sales.
almost all industries. Right?
Customer service.
Yep. Same thing with daily coaching, daily inspiration, daily recognition and correction. This is the big one that people fail to do a lot of times, that daily recognition or the daily correction. We talked earlier about, hey, what are you allowing? A lot of times that just is allowed here, and then it's allowed here and allowed here. Could have been corrected way back here. So correct it when it happens. Same thing with recognizing. Daily reinforcement of targets. You got to have the target set first, but then make sure everybody knows each and every day that you're driving into that target. That's why you're here today. And then the 4 M's.
4 M's, this will help you. 4 M's is model, mimic, master, and then multiply that position, right? So you've got to model what you need them to do, let them master it, and then mimic, and then multiply that. Okay, that's the 4 M's.
All right. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit because we got about 2 minutes. We're going to finish up here. We're not going to get to onboarding or recruiting today. But how many of you guys have KPIs, key performance indicators in your business?
Got a few head nods.
A few of you? Okay.
Does anyone not know what KPIs are? It's ways of tracking revenue, tracking sales calls, tracking tickets in the IT department. They'll have KPIs. The goal is to either increase it or we need to lower the number of tickets that come in. That's a KPI. Again, tracking data.
Yeah, and what it does, it creates clarity for the employee as well. They know what good work looks like or what it's supposed to look like, right? So you have those set, and then you can correct or recognize based upon that. So we would encourage you after today, figure out what KPIs you are tracking, and if you have 0, let's figure out what those KPIs are that we could track every single day, right?
Exactly.
All right, so we'll send you this whole presentation so you can look at some of the KPIs for obsessed teams. We'll send you the presentation on recruiting as well. But we appreciate your time today. We've got a couple of giveaways. Chris, what do we got?
I know that you guys have stuff to do, business to run, projects to happen. So yes, we'll be around. Yep.
Yeah, we'll be here to answer questions. We appreciate your time today. We had a great time. Head over to our website, bigdogbc.com, for more on what we do.
If you guys want this emailed to you, let me know, and we can just write down your email on this for me.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time today.
Hey, hope you guys enjoyed that little taste of what we do when we're out speaking to groups. If you'd like us to speak to a group that you have on any number of topics that we offer through the 10X world, hey, give us a shout. Head on over to bigdogbc.com or reach out to me on social. We would love to work with you and your business or group. We'll be back after the break.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at SangamonTreeService.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust. Looking for personalized insurance with hometown care? David Hilst American Family Insurance Agents here to help you protect what matters most: your family, your home, and your dreams. Whether it's auto, home, life, business, David and his team are proud to serve the Springfield community with trusted advice and reliable coverage. Local service, real relationships, peace of mind. Call today or stop by their office. They can build your dream protection plan together. Call 217-726-6343
Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hey, don't forget while you're out on social, check ours out. You can check my personal one out at Robert Ferriell, at everywhere. Check out those Elevate Springfield pages, those Big Dog Business Coaching pages as well. Check us out over on YouTube. Give us a subscribe, give us a like or a follow on any of those channels. We would certainly appreciate it. So, hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
When I first walked into Shudokan Karate Club, I was just looking for a way to get stronger, but what I found was so much more. Here we train in traditional karate, the real stuff, passed down through generations. Every punch, every kata has purpose. I've learned self-discipline, confidence, and how to protect myself. Not just in class, but in real life. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. This is more than a club, it's a way of life. Join us at Shudokan, traditional, powerful, real. Ki!